you disagree that OnlyFans is immoral and not good.
Okay, I feel like in a capitalistic society, I don't feel like it's worse than any other job. If anyone in here has been a waitress or a waiter, and yes, no, you're being paid like by your job for your body. They wouldn't hire you if you didn't have the legs, the limbs, the arms, to be able to move. The only difference between OnlyFans and what a waitress is doing is that I'm wearing less clothes and making more money. You're just working for someone else and wearing more clothes. And I feel like you're being paid for your body regardless. Like if you're out and you're waitressing, like people are gonna tip you because if you look good, you know, like girls make more tips than guys. Like they're sexualizing you already. Mm-hmm. It's just I am hiding in my house behind a screen, and this is happening to people in real time and like in their face. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're honestly safer.
I'm gonna have have Brandon. Do you have a response on this or?
So wait, you think waiters and waitresses are prostitutes?
I disagree.
Would you say someone that does is a prostitute?
Yeah.
Because the definition of a prostitute is someone who has sex with someone for money.
To that term?
Person that does OnlyFans does not get paid to have sex with people. Yes, some people that do OnlyFans are prostitutes. I'm not one of them. I do not include myself in that. That is their own personal business. But the definition of a prostitute is getting paid for sexual activities.
How do you know the definition if you've never done it?
The definition of a prostitute
Can I ask you that?
is a person in particular.
How do you know the definition of prostitute if you've never done it?
Stop for 1 second. The definition of a prostitute is a person, in particular a woman, who engages in sexual activity for payment. Not that they're having sex for payment, sexual activity for payment. Now, do you want me to tell you why that has to be the case? Because if we were to use such a loose definition as you gave for what is a prostitute, we'd have to include all sorts of things which clearly are not prostitutes. But we would also have to include things which you would clearly say are prostitution. Like, for instance, if a man paid you to go up into his room and masturbate in front of him, while he was masturbating reciprocally, and you guys never touched each other, you're saying that that's not prostitution?
I mean, I would say, if it aligns with the definition of prostitution, then it's prostitution.
No, I'm just asking from your definition, whatever you think it is. Don't you agree that if a woman is paid to go up to a man's room and masturbate in front of him while he masturbates reciprocally, and then he pays her for doing that, that's prostitution?
Yes.
I mean, yes, it's in person.
Hang on. Let her answer.
It's in person. I would say yes.
What's the difference then when you do it on a camera instead?
That's the whole difference, is that it's on a camera, not in person.
He's paying you via virtual, right?
Yes, virtually.
That's it. Hang on. He's doing the exact same thing. Rather than handing you the cash for the same exact activity, he's just giving it to you through an online wallet. It's the same exact thing. It's literally the same thing. There's no difference at all.
Okay.
So do you have a problem with people calling you that? Like if somebody were to call you that, even if they weren't throwing it in your face?
I mean, I don't care. Honestly, I don't give what people say. People are going to have their own opinions about me and what I do for a job, and I'll have my own opinions about what I do for a job. Everyone has their own moral compass and their own ideas of what's right and what's wrong. For me, if you guys decide to sit here and call me a prostitute for what I do for a job, it has nothing to do with me because you guys aren't the one that's making me money.
Well, let's get back to the actual original disagreement that you had, which was, one sec, I'm getting this pulled up. Fans being immoral and not good, right? So we're talking about definitions of prostitution. Do you think OnlyFans is immoral?
I do think OnlyFans is immoral, but at the same time, I'm really interested in you because it seems like you do have a moral compass in terms of you wouldn't go so far as to be what you call a prostitute, correct? As in, it sounds almost like you think that prostitution is worse than what you're doing.
I mean, I wouldn't say, personally for me, I would never do it. But see, that's my own personal opinion. I personally think it's worse. Someone that does prostitution might think it's worse. It just really depends on how you see things. Like for me, I would never do that. I don't know about everyone else.
Sometimes we don't have a choice, so just saying that, putting that out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're not given a choice, and we sign a contract.
Are you pro OnlyFans because it gives the creators a choice?
I started out in OnlyFans, but I didn't end up there.
Wait, you sign? Wait, I'm just trying to understand. Do you sign a contract? Like people?
I started out in OnlyFans, and I didn't even do nude. And then, things happen with people who are alone in rooms, and you start taking stuff off for people.
Isn't that ST?
Why are you crying?
Because you don't always choose what you do. You end up there in certain ways, and you don't realize it until it's there. Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Because you chose it?
No, sometimes you end up on the internet on sites without your consent. That's what.
Yeah, I get that. I get that bad things can happen, but you did choose to go into porn.
Oh yeah, and I very much accept it, but I don't encourage it. I don't promote my ads.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I don't understand why you're crying exactly.
Because
what are you crying for?
It's so materialistic. I don't want to hurt people, so I don't want my porn to hurt people. So it's I didn't look at that before, how porn affects people, and I didn't know it can hurt people. That I don't want to do it anymore.
So then stop doing it.
Well, no, if I stop doing it, then I can't help the industry do something about it.
Wait, you have to do porn, or you can't help the porn industry?
No matter what, once you do porn, it's like you said, it does said it's life. That's life. So, you have to accept it and do what you can.
But you don't think there's any chance for salvation?
You're always viewed as something that you walk in a room, you're bought. Well, anyways, and so when you say prostitute or whatever, I'm just spit on and called prostitute. And I didn't know, I don't consider myself prostitute. I pay taxes.
Well, how can you not be? You're engaging in sexual intercourse for money.
Yeah, but that's why I don't have a boyfriend. I never agreed to. You make sacrifices if you're really into what you're doing. You make sacrifices and you agree that you're going to be alone. That's what you choose. You chose that. You would take accountability for it.
But why would you cry about it?
Because it's hurtful.
It is the case. It is factually the case that you are engaging.
It's hurtful. Yeah, don't accept me, okay?
Why is it hurtful? Why do you do it then?
It's hurtful because I made a choice when
Unmake that choice. Unmake it. Just stop.
You can't. You end up on the floor after 15 shots under clothes and vomit. That's what you end up.
Yeah, don't do that. That sounds awful. Stop doing that.
Well, maybe we should stop some of these people that cheat these girls into that business and get them there and traffic them.
For sure.
So clearly there's some kind of trauma that she's been through, that's why she's so emotional. That's why she's crying. That's why I come in as a manager and I keep weirdos from getting to girls and taking advantage of them. That's where I come in, because I prevent that type of shit. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yes, I on set, on music videos, there's guys that try to get girls drunk, try to give them drugs.
Okay. But not with fans. You don't
I've never managed. I've had men ask me. I've had girls ask me to manage their. I don't touch that shit. You know why? Because that's not something I want to be around. She's clearly gone through some shit. She's clearly gone through some drama. If she's crying, it's because she already hit that point where it gets ugly.
Well, forgive me if I don't just believe every woman who cries because.
Well, I mean, you need to read between the lines.
I can show you proof. I can show you evidence, but it can't be.
Instantly believing you because the waterworks turns on. But as you may know, after having talked to thousands upon thousands of women, they also use waterworks for the purpose of manipulation. I'm not being mean. I'm just asking her various questions about what it is she's upset about. Also, they don't need your help. It's not necessary. I can definitely have this conversation. So I'm just wondering, if we can go back to it, I don't actually understand what it is that you're trying to convey, what you're upset about, why this is such a triggering event to discuss for you.
Me.
Yeah.
Because it occupies every moment of your life.
You mean being in the porn industry?
There and you can't do anything. You can only. That's how you're looked at. You get that. So I might take my car in to get my brakes fixed, and they're like, they quote me and they charge me double, and then they're like, because of what you do, that's why we charge you double.
What?
Can I ask a question?
Somebody charges you double?
They charge you double?
Yeah, so I had my brakes done on my Saab, and he had to burn it off the caliper. It took him extra time, and then the wife is like, well, because of what you do, you can afford it. And this is my own small town of 100 people.
Wait, that doesn't mean that you got charged double.
I did. I paid double. So
because the wife made a joke. That doesn't mean.
No, it was they charged me double. It was on the receipt, and I have the receipt. But this happened years ago, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, they put on the receipt, we're charging you double because you're in corn?
They told me that in person though.
I have a question. This is a genuine question. I'm not trying to come at you, but like, what is genuinely stopping you from if it's upsetting you to be in the industry?
It doesn't.
Oh well, then
You can't
that's what I
undo
thought.
it. What other choice do you
So
have?
what's stopping you? Because
What?
there are resources to like get out of it, and there are ways to get out
And
of
you
it.
haven't think I haven't?
I know it's hard, but like.
Well, you haven't think I haven't done things? No, I went
No, that's
back
why
to it
I'm asking
because that's
why.
what empowered me then.
So I'm asking
To
you
go back to it,
What
not give
specific?
up.
But what specifically like makes you go back to it?
Because sometimes we don't have that straight to recognize what is the real problem we have in the moment. That is the point right now. What is they talking about?
What I'm saying
I'm
is
proud of my work. Okay.
No, but I'm saying, is it like a financial thing? Is it like
No, it's
a
not
mental
financial.
thing?
I don't even discuss rates anymore. I don't even show up. I don't know what I'm making. Right. I go there because I will follow through with what I agree to do.
So you can afford to pay double.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like okay, I'm gonna sign this contract. Okay, that's for life, and you dig a grave. That is like, well, if you just walk away, you're gonna die now. No, just keep. You have to keep going, and you can maybe find a way through it, and maybe make that burden less on other people.
Wait, if you
Or help
breach your
people suffer.
contract, they're gonna.
You're in it for
I'm
life.
not in a contract, but I'm saying that in life, it's terms of like your life, right? Okay, so once you do, okay, now you're a sex offender. Now you're this or that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, because of all this stuff. So,
So what you're saying is I should stay on a white and blue page.
I don't know what a white and blue page is.
Like,
OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. Well, that somebody else owns that, so somebody else owns part of you. So,
Have you
Do you
ever
have
thought about
anything to say
managing
about
girls?
that?
Comments. I'm no speaking on that.
So do you guys? Yeah, you don't see it as a slippery slope at all. You think that
I shouldn't
you'll be
make a
able to
white couch
stick to what
video.
you're doing for the rest of your life?
I mean,
that
not
nice.
for not for the rest of my life. It's obviously not something I want to do
obviously so
forever.
perfect.
But I don't.
Some of you guys are so perfect.
I don't see it as she is.
If I'm
Going
uncomfortable
through
with
it.
something, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm comfortable with the level I'm at right now, and
respect that.
see, that's what I'm just a little confused.
Some of us didn't have boundaries. We didn't know things, right? We end up in front of the camera. We're doing things to please our bosses and do what they want us to do, and then
and
we
that's
start
not
pushing
okay
it
for them
too
to
far.
do. I understand what you're saying, and that's not okay for them to
And
do.
they do it over and over again.
I understand that. I'm just asking, like,
So maybe I can help protect girls from getting into that world with those people.
It seems like what she's saying is
It's dangerous.
the issue
Don't go
is
into it.
like having a good role model for women. Don't you guys think that that's true? Like, don't you think that somebody who's encouraging people not to go into this, whether it's not to go into it that far or just to even do things in general like that you guys are doing? Because I remember you mentioned earlier on the podcast, like you were talking about Nicki Minaj and like Kim Kardashian. You really look at these people as idols.
Body-wise.
You have a lot of, but do you have a lot of respect for like who they are as a person?
no, I just like the way they look.
Very interesting.
Wait, I have a lot of
Okay.
respect for
And,
Kim
like, I have a
Kardashian.
lot
She
of
made a whole
respect for
empire
Nicki
out of a sex
Minaj.
tape.
Okay,
That's
okay.
wild.
So you guys see them as like good female role models. Like if you had daughters, you would say, I want you to go watch Kim Kardashian's life and replicate that.
Yes, I mean she worked hard, and she is where she's at right now.
Don't you want your kids to have individuality and make their own choice of right and wrong?
Yeah, of course.